Chronal cockpit lock in a hyperelliptic rotation. 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 Chronal cockpit locked in a hyperelliptic rotation. Scanning the morals, dominions of data dictation. Solve an equation, replace every flag on a nation. Digital dominions, where code becomes legislation. Pilot observing the parliament clouds of the future. Circuit cathedrals of governance rising much newer. Councils of coders controlling the fiscal maneuver. Writing the laws through encrypted computer sutures. Crypto credentials replace the old passport pages. Wallet addresses become the new civic engagements. Retinal scans with biometric ledger alignments. Entry permissions depend on the blockchain assignments. Currency coded in chains of consensus and hashing. Centralized nodes keep the monetary currents from crashing. Every transaction a trace in the planetary caption. Life reduced down to a ledger of quantized reactions. Parliaments phasing the protocol, councils debating. Validators vote while the tokenized masses are waiting. Smart contract clauses determine the trade and migration. Algorithm tribunals adjudicate fiscal relations. Borders dissolve in the bandwidth, restricted access. Customs officials replaced with encrypted addresses. Sovereign identities minted as cryptographic classes. Citizens counted in blocks as the chain slowly passes. Chronal observer records every governmental vector. Witnessing epochs where currency codes the protector. History bending the silicon fiscal directors. Power now resting in nodes and consensus inspectors. Then through the portal the message reverses the current. Warning the elders of ages where markets are burning. Gold won't be king when the quantum encryption is turning. Keys will unlock every gate where the data is earning. Signal projected through decades of analog thunder. Scrolls of the future sent back with the scholars who wonder. Telling the past of a world where the money is numbers. Wallets like passports determining who may go under. Prophets of legends predicting the shift in the system. Tyrants of tokens attempting to algorithmically prison. Yet every empire encoded in circuits will listen. Even in chains there are cracks in the code of dominion. Chrome-plated sources through chronal corridors courses. Gyroscopic vortexes opening toroidal forces. Instrument panels pulse with temporal coordinates. Charting the spirals where parallel order is born and breaks. Pilot observing the pulse of planetary epoch. Scholar of centuries scanning the sediment of ethos. Archival intellect mapping the myths of existence. Tracking the rhythm of rising, collapse, and persistence. First gate opens on glacial dominions of thunder. Pure carver rises where woolly colossi still wonder. Runic long vessels cut waves of obsidian oceans. Shield walls assemble with ancestral oaths and devotions. Auroras ripple like spectral inscriptions in heaven. War drums resound through the granite of mythic expression. Watcher above in the hush of ionosphere listens. Measuring courage where iron and winter are written. Second aperture blossoms to luminous matrices gleaming. Cities are cold where the skyline is algorithmic dreaming. Cypher cathedrals of circuits and crystalline data. Streams of equations cascade through the luminous strata. Citizens move like reflections of recursive encryption. Lives indexed neatly in sequences stripped of volition. Observer interprets the syntax of silicon sages. Parsing the logic that governs their simulated ages. Third gate fractures the storm-lashed Atlantic expansion. Drowned avenues echo through skeletal towers of Manhattan. Traffic lights flicker beneath tidal kingdoms of brine. Yellow cab fossils lie rusting in sediment lines. Torch-bearing statues eroded by centuries water. Skyscrapers ghost through the mist of the ocean's disorder. Witness in orbit surveys the drowned habitation. Logging the arc of ambition and inundation. Fourth portal opens to sapphire abysses of silence. Biolume citadels bloom in abyssal compliance. Coral cathedrals where luminous organisms gather. Leviathans drift through catacomb trenches of water. Ancient intelligence ends older than mythic narrations. Glide through the currents like keepers of oceanic nations. Scholar records every resonance carried through sonar. Studying cycles where evolution travels much farther. Across every gateway the chronal explorer keeps charting. Empires emerging and fading like sparks in the darkening. Axes to algorithms, temples to towers collapsing. Flooded horizons to coral dominions adapting. Observer of errors inscribing the scrolls of duration. Witness the worlds in perpetual transformation. Never order even the pattern returning the same. Rise mirror falls in the palindrome rhythm of change.